Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Your Home for comedy, news, both. Headlines with Amr. This is episode 42 of our show, and we are diving right in with news of the ceasefire announced last week that concluded a 2-year genocide by the Israeli government in Gaza. Now, this news, this ceasefire, which seems to be fragile and barely holding to this point, was followed by a trip by Donald Trump to Israel, where he took a very odd victory lap and sort of gave off the appearance of a best man, honoring a groom at their wedding. The only difference here, of course, is that the groom was Benjamin Netanyahu, a man wanted by the International Criminal Court for war crimes. Now, Donald Trump said a lot of complimentary things about his buddy. One of them was, BB would hit me up for weapons all the time. He was like, I want this weapon, I want that weapon, and we would give them to him, and hey, boy, did he know how to use them. Later, in the same segment, he looked at Israeli President Herzog and all the parliamentarians and said, oh, come on, why don't we give this guy a pardon? Mind-blowing, just mind-blowing when you think about the fact that this genocide claimed the lives of 68,000 Palestinians, a third of them children, and you have the audacity to say something like he used them well. Now, I could spend a lot of time talking about that, but I'm sure if you have even an iota of humanity, you're very familiar with how disgusting this is. So instead, I want to move to a slightly different but related topic, the peace plan that is attached to this ceasefire. Now, there's a part of the peace plan that mentions a transitional government taking over Gaza, and that they would be overseen by a board of peace, and that board of peace will have some leaders in it. Only one was named, though, by name, Tony Blair. Tony Blair? Tony Blair, right out of the I didn't know you were still around pile, Tony Blair. A couple days later, I came across a segment that included Condoleezza Rice and Hillary Clinton, two other names out of the I didn't know you were still around pile, where they were praising Tony Blair's involvement with this plan. He's someone apparently who has a credibility with relationships, but none with general public. I guess they've always been detached from the general public, though. So basically a bunch of people who failed at something for a really long time, disappeared, are now coming back with the quintessential question, what if I did it again? A question shared by peers like Napoleon when he came back to power from exile, started a war, and lost. Brett Favre, after his second comeback to the Vikings, which ended in him being concussed. And of course, the Jurassic Park franchise, when they decided to make the movie Rebirth. What if we do it again? Now, in researching the information for this episode, I came across a very interesting story that was written in November 2009. It was about an international peace quartet that had been assigned the task of bringing peace to this same part of the world. And wouldn't you know it, there were two people on it, Condoleezza Rice and Tony Blair. Now, it's been 16 years since 2009, and then there have been 10 plus Israeli military actions that have claimed the lives of tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians. So, what if we do it again? What if we do it again? Going back to these same people is not going to humanize Palestinians, and it's not going to bring peace and security to Israelis either. And it's not going to get us equal rights for all. If we want a real shot at it, we need to try some different people, because I promise you, these people do not give a fuck. Now, that's all I have for this week. I hope everyone has an excellent weekend, and I will see you all next week. And I'm doing my first preview right now. We're going to be talking about mushrooms. That's right, folks. So get ready. Bye-bye.